He's never going to explain this to you. Not because he's hiding it, because he can't see it. So I will. For the next year, you're going to love a man who runs from the exact thing he wants most. And I'll hand you the map right now so you know I'm not guessing. Somewhere past day 200, in the middle of an argument, he's going to look at you like he has never met you. And the part that will keep you up at night, in that second, he believes it. Then near the end, day 340, he sends you 4 words that would have saved you a whole year ago. You'll be glad they came too late. Day 1. The best first date of your life. He listens. Actually listens. Asks the second question, the one that proves he heard the first answer. He remembers the name of your childhood dog by the end of the night. And here's what I need you to hold on to, because you'll need it later. None of it was fake. Beginnings are the one place a man like this is completely safe. Nobody's asking anything of him yet. There's nothing to owe. He gets all of the closeness, with none of the cost. You just don't know yet that the cost is coming due in his name, and he plans to leave the table before the check arrives. Day 30. It moves fast. Faster than anything you've had. He says at first, that he's never felt like this. And he means it. That's the part nobody tells you. He's not lying to you at day 30. He's falling for the feeling. You just happen to be standing where the feeling is. Remember this version of him. Photograph him in your mind. The plans he makes, the way he reaches for you first. Because you're going to spend the rest of the year trying to earn this man back, without ever knowing the exact day he left. Day 41. You notice something you can't name yet. He loves you best from a distance. The texts when you're apart. Thoughtful, funny, warm. Paragraphs sometimes. But get him on the couch, shoulder to shoulder, a whole lazy Sunday stretching ahead, and something in him goes restless, checks the time, finds a reason to move. Most people love closer and closer. He loves best through glass, near enough to feel it, far enough that it can't ask him for anything. You file it under quirky. File it under evidence instead. Day 52. The best weekend you've had. 2 days, no phones, the kind of close that feels like a decision. Then Monday, 1-word replies. Tuesday, quieter. Wednesday, a plan gets moved for a reason that doesn't quite hold. And you do what you'll keep doing all year. You audit yourself. You reread everything you said this weekend, hunting for the sentence that broke it. Stop hunting. There's no sentence. Read the order of events again. The pulling away came directly after the closeness, not after a fight, after the best weekend. For men who love like this, closeness itself is the alarm. You didn't trip a wire by doing something wrong. You tripped it by being wonderful. You decide it's a one-off. It isn't. It's a rhythm. And by day 90, you'll know the beat by heart. Day 90. 3 months in, and you could chart it on a calendar. Warm weeks, where he's almost day 1 him. Then the drift. Days where reaching him feels like calling a landline in an empty house. So you adapt, quietly, without ever deciding to. You start doing math no one should do in love. How many days of distance one good night costs. How much closeness he can afford this week. You learn to ration your own warmth like it's expensive. Nobody taught you this. The rhythm taught you. And when you try to explain it to a friend, you watch it dissolve in your own mouth. Because what's the charge? He didn't yell. He didn't cheat. He shows up to the dinners. He's charming. Everyone says you two seem great. There's no crime scene. There's just less of him every month, in amounts too small to photograph. You're not imagining a problem no one else can see. You're the only one standing close enough to feel the temperature. And rhythm is the whole trick. Because a slot machine that never paid out, you'd leave. It's the sometimes that keeps you at the table. Day 131. You've started editing yourself before he ever sees a word. You type the honest text, the one that says you're hurt, or you miss him, or can we talk about Saturday? Then you translate it, soften it, cut the sentence that sounds like a need, send the smaller version. The pattern has a name, and I want you to hear it in daylight. Self-erasure. The relationship runs exactly as smoothly as you can disappear inside it. And the cruelest part, it works. The less you ask, the better he treats you, which teaches you the worst lesson a person can learn, that the best version of you is less of you. Day 175. It happens over something small. That's how you'll know it was never about the something. A weekend plan, a tone. You push, just slightly, the way anyone would. And his face, empties. Not angry. Angry would mean you're still in the room with him. This is calm, flat, far away. He says, "You're being a lot right now." And he looks at you like he has never met you. There it is. Day 200 came early. You're not arguing with him anymore. You're knocking on a door with nobody behind it. And somewhere under your anger you feel something colder. The sense that to him, right now, you're not his person. You're just noise. The next morning he's fine. Better than fine. He makes coffee, kisses your head, asks about your day like the room didn't freeze 12 hours ago. No apology, because in his version of last night, nothing happened. You pushed. He stayed calm. He files it as proof he's the reasonable one. You file it in the growing drawer of things you're apparently not allowed to feel. Hold that image, because in 25 days, I'm going to tell you what it looks like from the other side of that face. Day 200. I've worn that face. That's the confession this time, and I'm not proud of it. Years ago, a woman sat across a table from me, crying about something I'd done, something real, something she had every right to cry about. And I felt nothing, calm, composed, superior even. I remember thinking, look how stable I am. She's drowning and I'm fine. I genuinely believed the stillness was maturity, that I was the healthy one, and her tears were the problem in the room. It took me years to understand that the calm wasn't strength. It was a door closing automatically, and I wasn't the one paying for what got shut outside. So when his face goes still and he watches you hurt like it's weather, understand what you're seeing. He's not winning the argument. He's not even there. And 14 days after your worst night, you almost leave. Almost. Day 214. The bag is half packed. The goodbye is drafted in your notes app. You've read it enough times to know it by heart. And he feels it. Men like this usually do. Distance is the one language they're fluent in, and yours just changed. So day one him comes back. The plans, the reaching for you first, the second question. 2 golden weeks, so specific and so warm that you start to wonder if you imagined the whole cold year. You unpack the bag. Listen to me. That is not weakness. Warmth that comes and goes is the strongest glue there is. Every part of you that stayed was responding exactly the way people respond to sometimes. But mark the date it started, because the warmth arrived the day your foot touched the door. Not the day you cried, not the day you asked, the day you almost left. The warmth is real. So is the countdown. Day 260. The story starts changing, and you're the last to hear it. A mutual friend lets it slip. He's been saying you two have been struggling for a while. Struggling. News to you. You thought the golden weeks meant you'd made it out. Then he starts saying it to your face, in a voice that sounds rehearsed. Maybe we want different things. I don't know if I can be what you need. Hear what's happening. The pattern is called priming the escape. He's rewriting the year in advance, so that when he goes, the leaving reads as reasonable. Sad, even. 2 people who just drifted. He's not talking to you. He's drafting the version he can live with. Day 301. He goes. No villain scene, no fight you can point to. Just a quiet Tuesday and a speech about needing space to work on himself. Delivered gently, almost kindly, in that same faraway calm. And you'll do the thing everyone in your seat does. You'll replay 300 days hunting for the one where you broke it. The text, too many. The ask, too big. The weekend you were too much. Put it down. And let me name the specific cruelty of this kind of ending, because nobody warns you. There's no wreckage, no betrayal to hate, no scene to point at. Your friends can't rage at a quiet Tuesday. So the grief comes with a built-in doubt. Maybe it really was nothing. Maybe you really did want too much. You're grieving a whole year, and the world can't see the body. That's why you needed one witness. That's why I'm here. The door that closed on day 52, and day 175, and today, it was installed long before he ever knew your name. You didn't build it, you just lived behind it. Nothing you could have edited would have changed the ending. You know how I know? You edited everything. For a year. And here we are. Day 340. 39 days of silence. You're through the worst of it. Sleeping again. Whole hours where he doesn't cross your mind. Then the phone lights up. I made a mistake. 4 words. The 4 words. A year ago, they would have rearranged your life. You'd have answered before the second buzz. But listen to when they arrived. Not while he watched you cry. Not while you begged him to stay in 100 edited, softened, shrunken texts. Now, when the house went quiet, when the person who managed all his closeness for him stopped. The pattern is that the pull he feels tonight is real, and it's not for you. It's for the warm room he used to stand outside of. If you open the door, the rhythm starts again at day 52. You don't answer tonight. You finish your tea. You're surprised how easy that is. Day 365. 1 year. And here's what the year actually taught you. The difference between being loved and being kept nearby. Between a man who holds you and a man who holds you available. You weren't too much. You were a normal amount of person. You just spent a year proving it to someone who was grading you on how little of you there was. The next time it starts warm and fast and perfect, you won't run. You'll just watch what happens the first time you have a need, and believe the answer the first time. You already knew. You just needed to hear it from his side of the wall.